Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here. We'll get started right away. So, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, letting the body do whatever it feels like. Once you've shaken things up a little, let's swing side to side, really loose arms. We'll slowly come back center. So today we're going to do like a more traditional-ish class. So a few more sun salutations than we've been doing lately. But you can always skip the sun salutation and just stand until we get to the next standing pose. And if down dogs, you're not feeling it for today, you could always do child's pose instead, or again, stand and skip it. Or if you want to get the down dog experience, but you don't want the pressure on the hands and the pressure on the shoulders, you could do it with a wall. So you stand close to a wall, hands about hip level, and then you step back until you make the L shape. So it's still the same shape as a down dog. And if that's still too much on the wrist, you could just tent the fingertips instead so that you don't have any pressure on the wrist at all. Okay, let's get started. So top of the mat, we'll lift up all of our toes, roll the shoulders back and down, and just take a moment here. So find the upward pull through the crown. You can always let out a sigh anytime it feels good. And we'll do something else a little different that we don't normally do. We'll just open up the palms. So palms facing forward, and just feel if we can feel the shoulders and the chest opening a little more. Okay, about 5 breaths. Just connecting above and below and within, of course. Last couple breaths, imagine filling the backs of the lungs. We're into fall now, and according to Chinese medicine, that's the season of the lungs. Okay, spread out the toes, bring them down one by one. When you're ready, inhale, open up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. And let's just do that a couple times. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling with the fold. One more. Okay, bend the knees, hands to earth. Step back to a plank. And planks can also be done at the wall. Lower the knees. Lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, come down. So we'll do a few cobra up downs, and this can also be done at the wall. So just go with your breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. Okay, when you're ready, take it back to child's pose. So somewhere here or downward facing dog. So tucking the toes, lifting the hips somewhere here or at the wall. At least 5 breaths. And if you want to add any movement, please feel free. Okay, so we'll get ready to step a foot forward. So from down dog or from all fours, or if you're working with the wall, from L pose, we'll inhale, extend the leg. Exhale the foot towards the hands. And we'll put the back foot down for warrior one. We have our blocks nearby. We inhale, come up. So front knee is bent. The feet have enough width so we have room for our hips to face forward. Whatever we feel like with the arms. And we'll start with 5 or so breaths. And again, just a little extra emphasis breathing with the back of the ribs and tuck those floating ribs in a little bit more. Okay, bring the hands down, straighten the front leg. Inhale, open up through the chest. Then with the exhale, fold from those hips. So we're going into our pyramid pose. Let's take our time. Keep the spine long. If the back starts rounding, then we just want to come up a little more. If we're very comfortable, we can bring the hands to the leg or to our blocks, the blocks underneath the hands. And if it's feeling really good for you, you can keep going, belly towards the thigh. The hip of the front leg moves back and the hip of the back leg moves forward. So find something that works for today. And about 5 more breaths. And again, imagine breathing with the back. Okay, let's look forward. Take our blocks with us if we're using them. If not, the hands can be on the floor. Make a tripod with the foot and the 2 hands. Shift the weight forward and see if we can lift that back leg. So both legs nice and engaged, and we try to keep the hips in a line. That will make the bottom leg work a little more. That's okay. At least 3 more breaths. Let's see if we can stretch from the crown through the heel and puff up the lungs. Okay, so we're going to make our way to standing. So we could put the back leg down and stand up from there, or we can curl the knee in, bend both knees, bring the knees together, come up onto our fingertips, curl into like a cat kind of position with the back, and see if it's possible to come up without touching the foot. It might work, it might not work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Bring the knee up once you come to standing. Grab it with the opposite hand and open up into a twist. Perfect. Come out of it, give it a little shake. Okay, blocks are ready for the other side. And again, top of the mat. So open up the palms facing forward, shoulders back and down, lift up the toes, take a couple breaths. Spread the toes, bring them down. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees as much as you like. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Do a few more at our own pace. Next time we fold, bend the knees, hands to earth, step back to plank. And this time we can take a breath or two with the knees up or down. And when you're ready, lower knees, chest, chin. This time, let's come into a sphinx. So the forearms come down. The elbows can be under the shoulders or a little bit more forward. And just kind of shifting the legs a little so you can feel the hip bones. You can also open up the feet a little more to take some pressure off the low back. Okay, let's lift up through the heart and the crown. About 5-ish breaths. Okay, hands come under the shoulders. Make your way to either child's pose or downward facing dog. You can always start in one and then go to the other. Add any movement that feels good. And let's relax into it as much as we can. Okay, when you're ready, from whatever position you like, inhale, extend the other leg. Exhale the foot towards the hands. Back foot comes down. And the feet are kind of wide because we're going into our warrior one. So we come up when ready. Get a nice bend through the front leg. Back leg nice and strong. Whatever you feel like with the arms. Warrior one. Okay, hands to hips. Lengthen the front leg. Inhale, open up through the chest. Exhale, start to fold. So let's take our time, especially this pose where we are holding it a little longer. So we want the spine to be long, so we might be above parallel, parallel, or below. If we're coming lower, we can have the hands on the leg or grab those blocks. So place yourself somewhere where it's comfortable enough. The hip of the front leg is moving back, the hip of the back leg's moving forward. And let's just breathe into the pose and imagine breathing into the backs of the lungs. So, of course, we always use the lungs to breathe, just a little extra emphasis in the backs of the lungs. Okay. When you're ready, look forward, bend the front knee. Take the hands forward, bring the blocks if you're using them. Make a tripod with the foot and the hands. Shift the weight into the front foot. Lift the back leg. Keep the hips in a line as much as possible. Both legs nice and engaged. Long, deep breaths. Okay. So we have the option of just coming straight to standing, like putting the foot down. Or we can bend the knee, bend both knees, bring the knees together. Come onto the fingertips. Curl through the spine. Think of making your cat position. And see if it's possible to come up without touching the foot down. Okay, so however we get there, we'll bring the knee up, grab it with the opposite hand, and take ourselves into a twist. Okay, come out of it. Give ourselves a little shake. So next round, very similar. We're just going to add two little tweaks to the warrior one. One tweak to the warrior one, and then a rotation to the pyramid. And then maybe a rotation to the warrior three. So, but you don't have to do any of that, of course. You can just do the regular versions if you prefer. All right, so top of the mat. Lift up the toes, shoulders back, palms open towards the front. Take a few breaths. Just settling ourselves, settling our energy. Okay, spread out the toes, bring them down. Inhale, open up. Exhale, fold. Hands on the legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. A couple more on our own. As you inhale, imagine filling the backs of the lungs. Okay, next time we fold, bend the knees, hands to earth. Step it back to plank. And take a breath or two if that feels good. Lower knees, chest, chin. Okay, let's open up the feet. So like the distance of the mat. And we'll just do a wider leg cobra up down. So we inhale up, exhale down. Go with our breath. All right, take it back to child's pose or down dog. From all fours or down dog. Inhale, extend the leg. And let's take a couple breaths with the leg extended. And when you're ready with an exhale, bring the foot forward. Back foot comes down for warrior one. Widen the feet and come on up. So get comfy in your warrior one. And our little tweak, it's just cactus arms. Okay, relax the arms, lengthen the front leg. Inhale, open up. Exhale, start to fold. So we take our time as usual. So use the blocks if you like the blocks. And we'll just start regular pyramid, front hip sliding back, back hip sliding forward. Okay, so the block stays inside the foot. If you don't have a block and your hand doesn't reach the floor, you just keep it on your leg. And we'll rotate towards the front leg, picking up the other arm as much as it feels good. A few more breaths here. Okay, bring the hand down, bend the knee, walk the hands forward, take the blocks if you have them. Make your tripod. Come into your warrior three. And then our little tweak here is just going to the exact same rotation. So rotating towards the standing leg. See if we can pick up the arm and make the same shape. Okay, hand comes down, knees tuck in. We see if we can come up without touching the foot. So fingertips curl the spine, come up, do the best we can. And this time we'll open up the hip. So grab the knee the same side. Take a couple breaths here, just doing our best. And then find a tree and our last set of breaths. Okay, shake it out. So whole thing on the other side, and then we get to cool down. All right, top of the mat. Blocks are close. Lift up the toes, palms forward. Take a few breaths. Spread the toes. Inhale, open up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Do a few. Okay. Bend the knees, hands to earth. Step back to a plank. If you like, hold it for a breath or two. Lower knees, chest, chin. And for our last set of cobras, let's open up the feet again. And this time we'll also open up the hands. So the hands outside the mat. And then the same thing. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come on down. Couple more. Okay, child's pose or down dog. Relaxing wherever we are. All right, get yourself ready to step the other leg forward. So once you're in your starting position, extend the other leg and we'll just keep it up for a couple breaths. With an exhale, bring the foot forward. Back foot comes down. The feet are wide for warrior one. And we come on up. So nice bend in the front leg. If you like, cactus arms. Long, deep breaths. Okay, straighten the leg, hands to hips. Inhale, open up. Exhale, fold. Taking our time. Hands to leg or hands to blocks. Or keeping the hands on the hips, also an option. Front hip sliding back, back hip sliding forward. Okay, let's add the rotation. So the inside arm stays on the block or on the leg. And we rotate towards the front leg, opening up the top arm if that feels okay. All right, come out of it, bend the front leg. Take the hands forward, bringing the blocks if you're using them. Warrior three, we make the tripod, shift the weight, lift the back leg. And then if we like, add the exact same rotation. Okay, hand comes down. Knees come together, knees are bent. We curl through the spine, come onto the fingertips. See if we can come up. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, we grab the knee, same arm, open up. Take it into tree. Last set of breaths here. And relax. Give it a little shake. Whew. Okay, so we'll come down to the mat. So if you want to grab any extra clothing, have a drink of water, get any props together, whatever you might need. All right. So we'll come down to sitting. And let's just do a staff pose before we go into our twists. So as always, you can absolutely be sitting on something. It can be your blocks or a stack of blankets. Or if you're comfortable flat, that's fine too. If you're not sure, just check your low back. If your low back, you have your lumbar curve, you're good. If you're curving the other way, if you're curving back, then you probably want to sit on something. And you might also like to bend the knees. Just keep the knees off the floor, and that'll just make it a lot easier to keep your curve. Okay, even if you have your curve, you can still keep the knees off the floor. So staff pose, we can rest the arms or they come up, just 5 breaths. Again, with a little extra emphasis of breathing with the back. Okay, come out of it. Extend one leg down on the ground to bend the other leg, either on the inside or the outside of the bottom leg. Interlace, just a couple breaths. And when you're ready, take it into the twist, twisting towards the bent leg. Come back to center. Pick up the leg, give it a rock. Circle. Other direction. Foot inside the thigh. Put something underneath the leg if it's really like hanging. Bottom leg is still nice and engaged. Pull the toes towards us. And just a slight twist towards the long leg. So a hand somewhere on the long leg, back hand behind, and a few breaths. Okay, come back to center. Let's start it all on the other side. So we'll go right into our twist. So see where you want the leg to be, inside or outside. Interlace just for a couple breaths. Take it into the twist. With an inhale, come back to center, pick up the leg, give it a rock. Circle. Other direction. Foot inside the thigh. Prop it up if you like. Sit nice and tall, and then we'll just twist towards the long leg. As usual, letting the twist start in the belly. Okay, come out of it. Let's make our way down onto the back. And again, if you want to put on any extra clothing, go right ahead. If there's any props you'd like for relaxation, maybe something to put under the knees or a blanket to cover it up, have it close by. And if you're already down on the back, you can just give the knees a little squeeze. Rock side to side. Okay, so we'll bring the arms down alongside the body. So we can do this either with the knees pointed up to the sky or with the legs extended. We're basically just going to think of the lower abdomen and think of the lower abdomen making circles. So circling the legs either straight or bent. Change direction. Okay, come back to center. We can lift up the arms too. We'll kind of just like walk on the ceiling. And you can play with flexing and pointing. The feet and the hands, we can flex one direction and then the other direction. And now for the last few, just whatever feels good. I'm going to circle my wrists and my ankles. And if you're circling, change direction. Okay, a little shake. And now, whatever version of twists that you enjoy. Okay, let's set ourselves up for relaxation. So, whatever version you like, you can do my usual knees bent, leaning one into the other. Or if you have your blocks handy, you could try this one with the blocks under the knees. Of course, if you have a bolster or like big cushions, that might be a little more comfortable than blocks. If you just have blocks, give the blocks a try. And if it becomes not comfortable, if your back starts like feeling pinched at all, then just go into your regular shavasana. Okay. Something under the head if you need it. Arms alongside the body, palms up. And your legs, let them do what they want to do. So today my legs they just want to fall out. So I'm just going to let that happen. And of course, the most important adjustment, let's give ourselves permission to relax. start to wake the body up. Inviting movement. Give ourselves a full body stretch. And once nice and stretched, knees to chest, a few double knee tucks. So inhale the knees away, exhale to the chest. We can rock side to side. Eventually all the way to one side. Take a breath or two. And with the strength of the arms, press up. We'll make our way into any comfortable seated position. Okay, I just want to sneak in one more thing before we close. We'll take one hand to one shoulder, to the opposite shoulder. Grab onto the elbow with the other hand and just give like a little squeeze. So just kind of pulling the elbow over. And now we'll drop the head towards the empty shoulder, so away from the head. And just breathe into the side of the neck. And then keeping the head towards the shoulder, we can do a little up down with the chin. So the side of your neck will kind of tell you how far to go. Okay, chin to chest, release the arms, bring the head up, take a breath. And the other side. So hand to shoulder, hand to elbow, kind of give the elbow a little squeeze to the side. Drop the head away from the hands, take a few breaths, breathing into the length of the side of the neck. And now add a little up down with the chin, keeping the head to the side. Okay, chin to chest, release the arms, come back to center. So that's our practice for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, please feel free to make any comments or suggestions or requests. And I'll see you Thursday over on Google Meet. And then, of course, back here on Friday. So have an amazing rest of the day. And thank you again for being here. And I'll see you soon. Take care.